Hi, so last night I was researching David Koresh. Now, if you don't know who he is, probably because you weren't born during his time, or you were born during his time and you didn't hear too much about him. He was a cult leader. We had a lot of cult leaders in the about 1960 to the 1980s, early 2000s. He was in Waco, Texas, and he changed his name. There were some fascinating things around him. And so in my Dark Personalities book that I'm writing, I'm going to be using like three basic modalities and breaking them up and how they wrap the thought process around them. And I use David Koresh as one of my examples. I'm not going to tell you what I said yet. It's very fascinating because I sat with my co-collaborator who co-collaborated the needs languages with me, and maybe that's one of the personality modalities in there. But this is really going to be super important for people because a lot of times what happens is we all go around going, that person's narcissistic, that person's this, that person's that. And guess what? We don't have degrees to label that. Are you a forensic psychologist? I know I'm not. However, I know through my research as having a psychology degree, workplace psychology, a conflict resolution degree, and researching personality. I mean, really in-depthly researching personality from a belonging perspective and understanding how communication and researching belief and all these factors in here and spending years on this and eventually I'm looking at where I can go get my PhD. Applied social psychology is where I really would like to go into. As I'm looking at this, I am really understanding what is this. Clinical psychologists also understand personality a lot of times. And so, unless we have our degrees in this, or you have been researching this for years, listening to a couple YouTube channels on narcissism or all these things does not make us an expert, and it does not give us the ability to go around going, that person's narcissistic, that person's this, that person's that, because a lot of times we mislabel. And the other thing is, the reason I struggle with those labels puts people in boxes. You can now wear the proud label of I'm narcissistic. Yay. So guess what? I can be the predator, and I can be the victim, and I can be the rescuer, and no one can stop me because guess what? I've got that label. There's no hope for me because narcissism, there's not a lot of hope for people who are narcissistic. You know that, don't you? And you're probably going, whoa, that was just a lot of information right there. My whole point in this is I'm writing this so that we can fully understand, if you want to, what we say about these what personality disorders are, and which ones are dark, and why they are dark, and what is used out there for them. The naughty nine. But do we have to use the naughty nine? Do we have to use Ocean? Ocean is also called the Big Five to work and define these things around personality. What do we use? I think a lot of this is super important to really grasp for the layperson so that we can know how to protect ourselves or just know what's out there and have that information, and then go into the modalities, see where they were built upon, and go into the modalities that can help us so we can know what we're dealing with. It's just information to help you. Especially in this season, I can tell you right now, there are more people out there trying to be cult leaders. There are more churches that are falling and failing because of all the stuff that's going on out there. We were watching things around Hillsong last night. Wow. When we put people in leadership, we really need to be able to read their hearts, not just listen to their words. Out of our hearts, our mouths will speak. And if we're really learning how to listen to people, we're going to know how to be safe. That's why we have to know all this information. So please keep following me. Please keep on updates around this. And, you can always go to the needs languages. I also do a blog about once a month on LinkedIn. I'm probably going to start doing blogs once a month or once a week on my, I'm going to try start working on that on my website as well. So on that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.